What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to check this one out. And before we get into it, I just want to start off by first saying that we do not condone any type of violence or political violence over here with your boy RetroStef. I believe you all know how I feel about that one. That's a line that we should never cross, no matter what side of the aisle you're sitting on. However, it appears that Congresswoman Ilhan Omar late last night was attacked by a man wielding a syringe at one of her town hall events, but now we're getting new evidence coming in that points to the signs that this all may have been faked and staged. Guys, I'm excited to get into it, break it all down, so we're gonna hop straight into it. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's scoop.
Overnight, a man is facing charges for an attack on Representative Ilhan Omar last night. This is video of security tackling the man at a town hall event in North Minneapolis. Reactions pouring in this morning. Audrey Russo is at the live desk monitoring that and the latest on the investigation. Audrey.
Yeah, that's right. Our camera wasn't the only one capturing the attack. This morning, we're seeing different vantage points showing just how close 55-year-old Anthony Kazmarechek got to Representative Omar. He's now charged with third-degree assault, and police are investigating exactly what was in the syringe.
Ooh, make a hole! Hitting us against each other. Make a hole! Make a hole!
Now there's Kazmarechek getting led away. Representative Omar stayed to answer questions afterwards, despite calls from her team to change her clothes. We're now seeing an outpouring of support from other elected officials, though, from Governor Walz to some of her colleagues in Washington, D.C. You can see a bunch of them posting on X in the last 12 hours. Now, Republican Representative Nancy Mace denounced the attack on social media, while Democratic Congressman Jason Crow spoke about it on CNN. Now, I've been looking at President Trump's social media. No comments about the attack yet, but here's what he said about Congresswoman Omar at a rally in Iowa just hours before the incident.
She comes from a country that's a disaster. It's considered, I think, the worst. It's not even a country, okay? It barely has a government. I don't think it does. They're good at one thing, pirates. But they don't do that anymore. You know why? Because they get the same treatment from us as the drug dealers get. Boom, boom, boom.
Now, in the moments leading up to the attack, Representative Omar had called for Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to resign.
All right, folks, so that right there is some of the key details in the quote-unquote attack on Miss Ilhan Omar just last night, and we actually got a response from Ilhan Omar. It was very awkward, to say the least.
Representative Omar, are you okay?
You know, I'm gonna go figure if I am, but I feel okay. I feel that it is important for people, whether they are in elected office or not, to allow these people to intimidate us, to make us not fight for our constituents and for the country we love. And as I said, you know, I've survived war, and I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me, because I'm built that way.
Thank you.
Something about that reaction seemed a bit strange to me. Something's off there. Ilhan Omar was in no hurry to change her clothes. I know me personally, if I was sprayed with an unknown substance during a presser, I would definitely be in a rush either to the bathroom or to take my shirt off, to at least try to wipe some of this stuff off me. But you seen Ilhan Omar, she was way too cool, calm, and collected. And I want to flip over because in a typical Democratic fashion, we now have the loonies on the left blaming this all on President Donald Trump somehow.
This is not a one-off incident. This is a result of the hate-filled rhetoric that our president has been using against our own lawmakers and elected officials.
Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage.
Something like calling a woman garbage, by the way, is not personal. It is used as justification for attacks like this. And Ilhan's response, by the way,
And we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us,
was the best part. She wiped herself off of this unknown liquid, continued her town hall, and that is a testament of true leadership that our country should be looking and paying attention to. We all should be standing with Rep. Ilhan Omar.
It does not shock me at all that lefties are now claiming that this is all President Donald Trump's fault, because that's their only alibi, their excuse for everything bad that ever happens. It's all on President Donald Trump. We had Republican representatives like Representative Randy Fine coming out with his take, and he believes quite the opposite. He says that this is not President Donald Trump's fault, but Ilhan Omar's.
First, look, I want Ilhan Omar to be deported and denaturalized, but I don't want her to be attacked or hurt, and people shouldn't do this sort of thing. But I also blame Ilhan Omar for what happened. When they describe people throwing articles at law enforcement, at officers of the federal government, as peaceful protesters, they can't be surprised when crazy people start to do that to them. Attacking a representative of the federal government, whether it's a congresswoman or law enforcement, is not peaceful, and we need to start saying that.
And that's a very great point Representative Randy Fine has brought to the table. I mean, it was all fun and games just a couple of days, weeks ago, when anti-ICE agitators were assaulting federal law enforcement agents on the streets of Minnesota. But now that it's hitting home, it's a totally different scenario. Now it's all President Donald Trump's fault. And speaking of President Donald Trump, he also weighed in his first response, and he says that he believes that she may have set this whole entire thing up.
We are hearing from the president on what happened to Ilhan Omar. Instead of calling her, as would be the normal course of events when someone is attacked, often the president will, you know, in general terms, call up someone and check to see if they're okay and how they are doing, no matter what party they're in. Here's what he said, though, to ABC News. He told ABC News, after he was asked about what happened to Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, what he thought happened. He says, no, I don't think about her. I think she's a fraud. I really don't think about that. She probably had herself sprayed, knowing her. So he is trying to start this conspiracy theory that Ilhan Omar herself somehow orchestrated this. That is a lie. We were there in the room. We saw what happened.
So they call this whole thing a possible conspiracy theory, but I'm gonna be honest, this whole idea that, you know, this was faked and set up by Ilhan Omar and is going to turn out to be a hoax isn't too far-fetched to believe. I mean, just look at who she is, her past track record. I mean, this is the same woman that lied about her son supposedly being assaulted and arrested by ICE in the streets of Minnesota.
Hello, Congresswoman Omar. DHS says they have no record of ICE pulling over your son. Why did you lie about ICE targeting your son? One more time, why did you lie about ICE targeting your son, Congresswoman? Do you think it's responsible to lie about ICE targeting an individual in this time when domestic and Islamic terrorists are targeting ICE officials? Do you care to comment?
When you look at the long track record of Ilhan Omar, you can see that she is not one that's been reputable. She's lied on multiple occasions. I mean, she's married her brother in order to get his citizenship, lying on immigration forms. She lied about her naturalization into the country. I mean, she's lied about so many different things. Why is it so hard for the left to believe that she may be lying or not telling the truth about this one right here? And I want to provide the full clip for a bit of context, and then I'll break down what I've been seeing floating around on the internet.
ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked. No,
we will continue this. We're not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. No, you don't know what you're doing. No. That's whatever it is smells so bad. She needs to go get checked. I don't know what that was.
That's what they want. Please don't let them have it.
It's not about him, Ilhan. Ilhan, it's not about him. It's about your safety. No, he sprayed something on you. You need to go get checked. Yeah, and it smells terrible.
We're going to keep talking. Just give me 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. I beg you. Please don't let them have the show. 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 Here is the reality that people like this ugly man don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us. Everybody settle down. I'm going to finish my remarks. It is important for me to continue to lead my Democratic colleagues in demanding her resignation.
And that was a very bizarre sequence of events. If you ask me, a couple things stuck out to me from Ilhan Omar, her response. You see that she is not the slightest bit concerned about what's been sprayed on her. I know me personally, if you get sprayed with something by a random man in the crowd, my first thought is maybe this is, potentially life-threatening. This could have been anything from an acid to, you just really don't know, honestly. And it just strikes me, it's bizarre. And then Ilhan Omar's initial response, her lunging at this man. She doesn't know if he's armed, what he has going on. She runs directly at him like she's going to attack him back. I don't know, it just did not seem right. You could hear all of her colleagues surrounding her saying, hey, Ilhan, we should stop it here. You need to go get checked out. I mean, that's the first step, precautionary measures to make sure that you're going to be all right. But Ilhan Omar doesn't seem the slightest bit of concern of what's actually been sprayed on her. We actually do have reports of the substance that was sprayed because they were able to get tests ran on that, and they say that it was apple cider vinegar. So I'm not sure. It just doesn't make sense why a man would go to such great lengths to spray apple cider vinegar on a congresswoman. Just a lot of things are seeming a bit odd in this one. And another thing that kind of stuck out to me with this one is the fact that this guy was not only able to sit front row, but it seems that the cameras were fixated and hyper focused on him throughout the entire event. This is even before the attack, like they knew something was about to happen.
And round of applause for Congresswoman Omar's staff who's here. So hi everyone.
This guy is literally a nobody. You can see him here with the maroon shirt and the black jacket with the water bottle, drinking his water and whatnot, but no one knows this man whatsoever, but somehow the cameras just knew to be focused on this man before the attack. Okay, got it. And then got another rumor that's been circulating around the internet, and I'm not sure this is completely true yet. It hasn't been proven to be fact, but it looks as if Ilhan Omar gave this man a nod of approval before he ran up.
Resign or face impeachment. Resign or face impeachment.
I'm not saying that was a nod or a green light from Ilhan Omar, but that's what it appears to be. I know a lot of folks on the internet are wondering what's going on there. It seemed like as soon as she gave the nod, the man stood up and then started to approach her. And I found some other details. Been doing a lot of digging on the internet, just on the background of who this man truly is, because you already know the left, they're trying to paint this as some MAGA right-wing agitator that's came after Ilhan Omar, but I'm not sure that's what this is. We got a post. This is an old Facebook post that surfaced of Mr. Andy Kashmirzak, and you can see that he supported Ukraine. He stood with Ukraine, and this doesn't seem very MAGA-esque to me at all. I mean, this seems like a guy that is fully in support of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democratic Party, but that's not all. I've got more details than I found out. This one from JLR here on X says Anthony Kashmirzak was arrested last night for attacking Ilhan Omar. He was once married to Patrice Kashmirzak, and they divorced a few years ago. So his ex-wife, Patrice, is a political activist and a big supporter of Ilhan Omar and AOC. This is all according to her digital footprint. And you can see him here. This is his mugshot after the attack. And this is his wife, or ex-wife, I should say, Patrice. And here's a couple of posts that came earlier this year. This is January 14th. She stood with Representative Ilhan Omar when they were protesting ICE, a bunch of anti-ICE riots. It does not seem like a family that is a part of, the Republican Party. It's not adding up. You can see another repost from Patrice Benoit. Now, she was a Kashmirzak before they were divorced, and you can see that she's reposted AOC, that airhead of Congress, one of her posts. So it's just not adding up. And that's not all, folks. We've got more. I did a lot of due diligence on this one. Wasn't going to come on here without proof or facts. So these are the daughters, quote unquote daughters, of Mr. Andy Kashmirzak, the man who had sprayed Ilhan Omar. Looks like he has left his kids, and something's just not adding up. I mean, you can see right here the piercings, the dyed hair. I mean, it's all fit in the description of probably someone that's not in support of President Donald Trump. And you can see Mr. Andy Kazmierzak here with one of his daughters, orange and green hair. I mean, the nose piercings. I mean, it's a very obvious tell when you see a leftist. And that's what we're getting right here. So it's hard to believe that Mr. Andy was a staunch advocate for the Republican Party. I want to leave you here with this last little tidbit. Because this seems to have been a stunt for Ilhan Omar to gain some type of sympathy or to get the heat off of her other financial disclosures. Because you can't forget, recently just announced there is an investigation into her finances and how she has ballooned her net worth 3,500% in just a couple of years. So check this one out and then I'll give my reaction on the back end.
Another major asset she listed in her financial disclosure is this winery. What does a Somali know about wineryism? Okay, that was in 2023. That was worth, according to Ilhan Omar's own financial disclosure form, between $15,000 and $50,000. But on her financial affidavit from a year later, that same winery was listed at a value of between $1 and $5 million. Just real quick. Why does a Muslim own an alcohol company? I thought that wasn't a thing in Islam. Anyway, it gets weirder. Up until yesterday, Benny Johnson was able to find their supposed inventory bottles and all the things they had, their office location, and a bunch of other information on the business. But as of today, those sites are totally shut down, and any mention of their website has been wiped off the internet. I'm talking gone. The Wayback Machine, all these other crafty little archive sites, everything is gone. Like deleted the root service. I called my computer buddy Jim. He couldn't even find it with some fancy AR jargon bot machine for recovery. I don't even know, he was explaining it to me. He couldn't even find it, which is weird that a company that boasted an award-winning wine, the quote double gold winner in 2022 San Fran Chronicle competition with a corporate value of up to $5 million would just vanish into thin air. They didn't sell it. Is it possible for this to be a functioning business and have absolutely no footprint, wiped from the internet, go from 1,000 net worth to 5 million in less than a year?
Well, no other winery on earth's done that, Carl. Anybody knows anything about this knows that the wine industry is under enormous pressure. Wineries, there's people pulling up vineyards and closing wineries, including some very well-known ones. People are drinking less wine. The economy is weighed on that in favor of cheaper alcohol options. So the wine industry has been in mad contraction for quite some time now. But more to the point, you have to have a federal license to have an alcohol facility. Where is her winery on the TTB website? That's right. The federal regulatory body that does this. So no, this doesn't exist, and it's a phantasm that the idea you can have a winery increase in value. Everybody else in the wine business knows better.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness, this is definitely a bizarre story to say the least. I mean, you're talking about a random attack, quote unquote attack on Ilhan Omar. I'm not saying this whole thing was fake, but something definitely stinks. Something's fishy in this whole situation, how it played out. Now that we're looking into the background of this guy, his family, who he's been associated with, it just doesn't make sense. Nothing's adding up in this equation. All signs point to this may have been another Democrat hoax, but I'm gonna leave it up to you guys in the comment section. Definitely hop in there. Let me know what you guys are thinking on this. I'm glad I could bring you guys this scoop in such detail. I found so much information, and I might be doing a follow-up video on this one if I do find any more updates right here with your boy RetroStef. And if you guys could, before you get out of here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this coming from your boy RetroStef, I'll catch you guys on the next week.